Alright guys, here we are back for round 2. We are on the draw. Our opponent mulliganed to 6, and we will be joining him. We have a lot of awesome spells, but only one land. Here we have 5 land and an Inquisition. This is rough. I kind of don't want to go to 5. We have a Creeping Tar Pit. This hand might not be good enough, but we can get in a lot of trouble. Just because we have a lot of colorless lands like 4 Mutavault, and I think it's either 1 or 2 Ghost Quarter. So our 5 land hand could easily be like Vendilion Clique, Bitter Blossom, Inquisition, like Island Ghost Quarter. That's probably worst case scenario, but I feel like with us being able to Inquisition on turn 1, and we have a Creeping Tar Pit, which kind of functions as a spell, a weak spell at that, I think we might be fine. I don't know. I could definitely see mulliganing this hand, but I'm going to keep. We'll keep the Thoughtseize. If he plays a Goblin Guide, we might be in trouble, but if he doesn't do much, we should be okay. This could be Grixis. It is Grixis. So he's got a Lightning Bolt and a Terminate. We don't really care about these, but maybe we can hold this Thoughtseize and take a counter spell later on. So yeah, we'll take the Terminate. If we can land a Bitter Blossom, this is a pretty easy matchup for us, just because they have no way to get rid of it and they can't really kill us that quickly. Next turn we might Inquisition away that Lightning Bolt, so then we can start hitting him with Tar Pit. Alright, he's Grixis Delver, because he milled over a Delver of Secrets. So that means we have to play this matchup a little differently. Our removal will be good for us. Hopefully we can get him to tap out and we can actually take that Lightning Bolt. Yeah, here we go. So he's going to probe me. And then he'll probably play a 3rd land so he has Lightning Bolt available. I think at this point all we know is that he has Lightning Bolt and lands, but he's had multiple draws since then. We know Snapcaster was one of his draws, but... Just gonna go for a Delver instead. Alright. It's not helpful. We'll Inquisition first. Get that Lightning Bolt, see what else he has. Alright, and we'll just Thoughtseize away that Young Pyromancer. Hopefully he doesn't flip and we can draw into some removal. That's kind of where we're at. I mean, we drew 2 discard spells and 1 land. I think that's pretty average for like keeping a 5 land 1 discard spell hand. We had the Scry, but it looks like we might just be dying to beats. Mutavault can trade with this Snapcaster. Again, like all we need is a Disfigure, and I think we're like firmly in the driver's seat. Two turns without flipping is definitely good for us. Now he's got to hold the Delver back unless he's got a removal spell. Yeah, I'm definitely trading. There we go. So we'll do this on his upkeep. We'll actually do it. Yeah, we'll do it after the reveal. No reveal still. Well, we know it's not a spell. Otherwise he would have revealed it. So we might be able to like get him to cast a spell and then we mana leak it, and then he like, if he has a counter like a spell snare, he might go for the mana leak and then we can go for the throat. If he's paying full price, I don't know, that seems really bad. 5, 6, 7, he could have held up mana leak. It seems like a bad decision for him. I definitely would have played around mana leak there. And I think I'm just going to kill this guy and then start hitting him with Tar Pit. He doesn't play many of these. He plays a couple, but not a lot. Bitter Blossom is kind of a liability in this matchup, but I think it's still super powerful that we have to play it. I think we definitely have to play it here because we need Faeries to get the Misspelling Click out. With him not really putting forth any pressure, us being at 13 is good enough. But the games where he goes like turn 1 Delver and then he flips and we have a Bitter Blossom and we're taking like 6 damage from that Delver and he has Lightning Bolt, the life loss from Bitter Blossom can end up really hurting us. Ouch. That's good. I'd kind of rather him Spell Snare the Bitter Blossom than any other 2-drop I had. We're just hoping to draw a threat before he draws a threat. I think we're actually even as far as threats go. Snapcaster Mage would probably be the best draw for us here, as is usually the case. Cryptic Command would also be good. So he's playing another Delve creature, but there's no way I could have held on to that that go for the throat. We know he drew a Spell Snare, so I would have been dead to his Delver a couple turns ago. Yeah, you can bet he's playing around Mana Leak now, but he's also just holding up to activate Tasigur. I think we might be in trouble. Give him a Thought Scour. That's not good. So we're going to hold this fetch. We're at 13, which means if nothing else, it's going to take him 4 turns to kill me with Tasigur. So I'm winning the race as it is, but a lot of things can happen. We're just going to keep giving him Thought Scours, though. It's the worst card in his deck when he's like trying to get something good back with Tasigur, because it basically is just a random card that fills his graveyard with more cards that he doesn't necessarily want. With Tasigur on the field, you want the smallest graveyard possible. Milled over a Lightning Bolt, which is good. One's exiled. He also has a Snapcaster in the yard. He didn't cast the Thought Scour. No, yeah he did. No he didn't. So he has the Thought Scour in hand. I might be walking into a Terminate, but there's nothing I can really do about it. Yeah. So he has a Thought Scour on another card. Could definitely be a land. When he's casting Thought Scour multiple times in a game, he tends to flood out. So I think this game played out kind of how I would expect. Maybe I should have mulled to 5. I drew a good mix of action and spells. It was just a lot of discard, and he was just able to find another threat. And I've got this like awkward misbind click that could have been something good, but instead it's just kind of sitting here doing nothing. Now he's just going to pull away from the game. Well, he's found a young Pyromancer, so his Thought Scours are actually netting him some advantage. I don't think this is a great matchup for me. But after board, Engineered Explosives is great, Damnation is great. Pretty much all the removal I'll bring in. Interesting that he wouldn't put me to 2. I guess it doesn't matter. Because I'm at 5, like if I had a Snapcaster Mage, I could like go for the throat, his Tassiger, trade with his young Pyromancer, and then I'm at 1, but I don't know. So he's got game 1. Going to board. Seems pretty rough when he's got a lot of like lightning bolts and terminates and stuff like that. I think we just want all of our cheap interaction. Counter Squall is probably good too, just as like a slightly more expensive duress. Yeah, I think we're cutting our Bitter Blossoms. Once we're cutting Bitter Blossom, I don't think Misbind Click is as good. It's definitely fine, but not the best. You might just like want to try and win with Cryptic Commands and Tassiger. I don't know if I actually want these Counter Squalls. I actually don't think I want the duress. I think that's what it is. I'll keep the Mana Leaks in on the play, but I'll board them out on the draw. I don't think I need this many counter spells, and I kind of want to bring 1 Bitter Blossom back in. I think 1 Bitter Blossom is fine in the matchup. Okay, then you probably ate it. Alright, so on the play, 3 lands. We have a Thoughtseize on turn 1, which is great. We can definitely set up Murderous Cut for 1 mana somewhere down the line. We could Thoughtseize again on turn 3 if we wanted. I think this Polluted Delta is fetching a Swamp, and we'll Thoughtseize. This hand seems pretty good. This is our late game that we're building to. Yeah, we'll just take a Snapcaster Mage. It's the strongest card. He's got a few Dispels, which doesn't help him against Snapcaster on Thoughtseize again. I guess we could take Lightning Bolt, but that lets him Snapcaster Jataxian Probe on turn 2. So yeah, I think we're just going to take the Snapcaster. It's a good draw for him. Yeah, so he's in the better position. He's got the 2 dispels against my slightly awkward Murderous Cut and Cryptic Command. But I have more discard spells and dispels of my own and spell stutter sprites, things like that. So I think I'm okay. The fact that he doesn't have any pressure is good for me. I think the game's better for me the longer it goes on. So I think we're in a pretty okay spot. I don't know if I want to hold up this Murderous Cut. I could just play the Watergrave tapped, but we know he doesn't have a threat in hand now, but if he draws a Young Pyromancer or something, I can Murderous Cut and then untap, but again, then my graveyard's exiled. It's not like I can untap into a Snapcaster Thoughtseize, so I'm not really gaining any advantage. I think I'm just going to use this opportunity to get the Watergrave into play. He has a Jetaxian Probe, a couple Dispels, a Lightning Bolt, another land. I think that's all we know about. Yeah, so 2 Dispels and a Lightning Bolt, plus the random card that he's drawing off the Jetaxian Probe. So he ended up drawing the Young Pyromancer, but I think that's perfectly fine. He'll get a token, we'll kill this thing. He's tapped out. We'll Murderous Cut, leaving a Thoughtseize, so that'll give us Snapcaster and a Thoughtseize and a Murderous Cut in the yard. Kind of want to find some way to get those Dispels out of his hand, but all that really means is we just need to find instants to cast. Pretty much any non-land in our deck is a good draw for us here. I feel like we're in that spot a lot where we just want cards. And all of our cards are definitely better together, so they seem to be really powerful. It puts us in an interesting position where we're happy with when the game goes long because we're really just excited to see any non-land, and then even hitting 5 lands or more is fine because we have like Cryptic Command, Snapcaster Mage. Just getting his Young Pyromancer back, but we can Snapcaster Thoughtseize it away. Oh, we got Snapcaster back. Yeah, that's fine. Don't think I'm going to be Slaughter Pacting this Elemental token. I will be Slaughter Pacting this Elemental token. Pay 0 now, pay 3 later. What a bargain. Not the best use of the Slaughter Pact. This is also the first time I've ever cast a Pact. No, that's not true. I've cast Pact of Negation a couple times in Suicide Zoo. So he has a Lightning Bolt and 2 Dispels. So this turn's kind of a wash. Except I'm definitely in a lot worse position because I have to tap all my lands, but that takes 1 Dispel. That takes another Dispel. So I need to draw a land before he draws a threat. Yeah, I think I hold on to that. Could have a lightning bolt, could have anything. Spell snare. Bottom top. Land. Oh. Not the one I wanted. This is a flipped Delver. Kolaghan's Command. That's not good. So he can Kolaghan's Command. I guess getting back a Snapcaster. He might just like play the Snapcaster, targeting a Jataxian Probe. He's not going to do anything. So we can Thoughtseize. He can cast Kolaghan's Command. We can counter it. Bounces Delver. We might as well hold on to the Thoughtseize. He's going to cast his Kolaghan's Command end of turn regardless. If he doesn't, if he just takes the turn back, we could Cryptic. He might just like let us, he might just Cryptic first. I feel like we have to Thoughtseize to get him to Kolaghan's Command because probably the best play for him, he knows we have the Cryptic, probably the best play for him is to just not cast the Kolaghan's Command. Make us like aggressively use the Cryptic to bounce the Delver, and then he casts Kolaghan's Command after to get something back, and we don't want that to happen. So I feel like we just have to take 2 life to get him to cast the Kolaghan's Command. I don't know what he's thinking about. Maybe the modes he wants to use. Probably doing the math. So we're at 9. We're not taking a hit next turn from Delver, which is good. Oh, we get to take the Delver. Whoo! I didn't even think about that. Tricky, tricky. Alright. That works. And we have a Mutavault. Alright, I'm a lot happier with that play now. Magic is hard. Oh, come on. Pretty even. Back to back to back Mutavaults. I mean, one Gurmag Angler stops all this, but I mean, one Kolaghan's Command stops all this. Kolaghan's Command is such a great card. And that's one thing about this deck, is that it's trying to play this like grindy attrition game, but Jund and Grixis kind of just do it better. Like Kolaghan's Command just undoes everything this deck does. This Dispel is a good draw. I'm drawing pretty hot. This is bad news. Yep, so this is a Tasker. I think we just give him a Thought Scour. I was thinking about Gitaxian Probe, but just give him a Thought Scour. Him seeing this Dispel is slightly relevant. I'm not dispelling the Thought Scour, but something to keep in mind. So if I attack now, he blocks 1, he goes to 3. Next turn, he blocks 1, goes to 1. If I wait, and then the turn after I attack with 3 of them, he takes 4. He could block 1, goes to 1, and then next turn he's dead. Assuming he draws nothing else. We're definitely holding this Dispel. So he has 3 draws, 1 off the Thought Scour, and then 2 natural draws to like draw some removal spell or like a Snapcaster Mage or something. But he would have to draw 2 because he's got to fight through this Dispel. Snapcaster Mage would be a good draw for him. A Lightning Bolt or a Terminate I can definitely answer. Good news is he can't attack with the Tasker unless he drew a Snapcaster Mage. If he attacks with a Tasker and he hopes Kolaghan's Command is enough to get him there, he's going to be very unhappy. A little too late for that to be relevant. Which maybe means it shouldn't be in the deck. Could have definitely been a Counter Squall instead. I don't know. Yeah, just keep giving him Thought Scour. Interesting that he didn't cast the Thought Scour there looking for a Lightning Bolt. Yeah, maybe I'm dead. Who knows? The amount of Thought Scours he has in hand doesn't matter. It's not relevant. So you're just looking at his outs. He has 2 Snapcaster Mages left. 2 Bolts. Maybe a 3rd Kolaghan's Command. He's just milling me to see my deck. Hey. I don't know. We drew a couple Mutavaults to definitely help us there, but we could have drawn a Tasker like him. It's good for us. 4 cards on the top of our deck that are all dead in this situation. This deck is a lot of fun. Good news is we can now dispel plus Mana Leak. So I have to Mana Leak, so he pays. It's the same either way. He doesn't get value out of whatever. And I get to hold on to a Dispel. Like, this is a lot better than... I mean, one, he could just cast a Jetaxian Probe. Or Serum Visions. Which I guess I could then counter, but... It's the same either way. This makes him pay. Assuming he doesn't have a Dispel. And then he bolts me. But this is the only opportunity I'll ever have to use this Mana Leak. That's not good. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is not good news. Yeah. Yeah, I drew pretty well. What can I say? I'm good at this game. Alright, game 3. So game 3, the Mana Leaks come out. I feel like Damnation is definitely good. It's a 1-of. I don't think I need 3 Cryptic Commands. That's going to be a little tough to cast. And I like some Duress on the draw. How am I winning? Yeah, my problem is I don't have a way to easily win the game. Like, as much as Bitter Blossom hurts my life total, I might just need it. This figure hits a Delver, but not much else. I already have a million things that hit Delver. I could see trimming a Thoughtseize. I think I can play 2 Bitter Blossom. I don't think I can play 3. I mean, the counter scroll is just a negate. Do I want negate? Like, negate's fine, but I think Duress is just better. But why am I not playing Thoughtseize? No, maybe I just play it like this. Thoughtseize hits a Tassiger. I could cut all of my Cryptics. Like, I could cut one, only play 1 Cryptic and be able to play this Duress. That could be right. We'll try that. I've yet to spell starter sprite a spell. Can that happen? I want that to happen. Yeah, this hand's solid. 4 lands, go for the throat, click, Snapcaster. We will keep. Here's to hoping he leads with discard and not Delver. Or even better, a Serum Visions. Or even better, a Jetaxian Probe. Paying blue, doing nothing else. I feel like his deck should have Jace Vryn's Prodigy. Yeah, this is good for me. So he takes the Snapcaster, I would imagine. we can now go for the throw to Young Pyromancer. If he has a Detecting Probe, also he can get a token out of the deal, which is good. The good news is he makes it a lot easier for me to race. I would have a lot of time killing him fast enough before he like draws into more threats. But he ends up doing like 8 damage to himself over the course of the game. So it makes something like Vendilion Click or just Snapcaster attacking for a couple turns a lot better. If he has a Dispel or a Spell Snare, he has it. He gets a token, but we can at least Murderous Cut. We should have played Island. In case we draw like a Creeping Tar Pit next turn. Small mistake. And this is where his deck is really good because he can just like play a Tasigur and hold up 3 mana and pass the turn back. And then I'm in a position where I'm trying to Snapcaster go for the throat while he can protect it with counter spells. It's possible that I just like use that opportunity to Vendilion Click and just hope to draw an Engineered Explosives or a Damnation to deal with the tokens it'll be able to make, but I don't know. Yeah, imagine he takes the Snapcaster here. Took the click. Interesting. Might have a Spell Snare. Or even a Dispel. No, just a Delver. Yeah, well, we're going to kill it. Seen 13 cards. What if it's a Tasigur? What if it's a Kolaghan's Command? It could be anything. I can't really afford to hold Snapcaster back while he's hitting me for 4. I think I just need a Snapcaster, go for the throat. Hope he doesn't have a Tasigur. Like, yeah, see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Kolaghan's Command is such a difficult card to beat, because at any point he casts it, he just pulls really far ahead. But it's like you can't load up on things like Counter Squall and stuff because he can just kill us with like Delver into Young Pyromancer and you know, Tasigur on turn 4 or something. Yeah, he's got a Kolaghan's Command. If he's not attack, why would he not attack with the Elemental? Seems like that's free damage he's missing. Does he think I would block the elemental over the Snapcaster? That's not happening. The good news is, if he doesn't have a 5th land, I can Inquisition away. At least I force him to play it for no value. Mutavault can hold the elemental back or trade with the Snapcaster. Does he play a basic mountain? Let's see real quick. Grixis Dover isn't even on the map anymore. Here we go. Looks like most lists play a basic mountain. Yeah, 100% play a basic mountain. Alright. No trickery. See, this is the position that we end up in often, and he normally draws like a Tasigur or a Call of Guns command to pull him ahead. I mean, granted, this is where Bitter Blossom would be great. Have all 3 games gone the same way? I think they have. Here comes another Tasigur. Ay. Could very easily win on time, but I don't want to win that way. But I will. Come on, Damnation. Yeah, like him paying 4 mana to get a Gitaxian Pro back, it doesn't seem that great, but it's just him netting a card, and at this point where we're both out of resources, he's got, like, I've said it a million times, but him having multiple ways to just pull ahead in that situation. It's like he's playing with 8 Snapcaster Mages. We'll force him to use a Lightning Bolt so I can swing with Tar Pit if he has it. Don't think there's a way for me to win outside of Damnation. Like, even if I drew Tar Pit land, I'm still a land short and I need 8 lands to be able to swing twice. I shouldn't even be swinging here. I should, like, eat the token. Oh, forgot to play my land. I should eat the token and then chomp. That buys me another turn to find a Damnation, and is the way I should have played it. now I like have to find Damnation this turn, or I guess a Go for the Throat does the same thing. And he had the Lightning Bolt. Alright, that is that. Yeah, so again, I think this is a difficult matchup for us. He pressures our life total, which makes Bitter Blossom awkward, and that's one of the best cards in our deck. And then he's just got so many ways to finish us off. He's got powerful threats that are all attack us in different ways. Snapcaster Mage getting him card advantage, Young Pyromancer just getting free tokens off of a bunch of spells that he plays. Delver comes down quick and can pressure our life total and makes us want like cheap removal, and then Tasker can go over the top, and then his spells like Dispel is excellent. He's got like the 8 card draw spells, which are all great, helps him find exactly what he needs every game, and Kolaghan's Command is awesome against me. I think this shows one of the weaknesses of this deck, where it's an opponent that's able to like pull their way through a grind is definitely in a good position against us. So I think all the Grixis variants are probably a pretty poor matchup. But yep, that's that. We will be back for the final round.